we didn't really get along too good all our life. And I am an alcoholic, and he was an alcoholic, and you know what alcohol and drugs can do to a person. And it's not that I didn't love him; I really love him to death. But my fiance made me listen to this song, and it's like I got starting to get tears in my eyes. And I thought about him, so I went back home and I said, well, I have to write this song and maybe someday try it. And so I just want to share this with you. And it's going like this. Water like sun. Amazing Grace, we finish with this us.
Yeah, we can do Amazing Grace, yeah.
You gotta like Amazing Grace?
Amen.
Yeah.
That's right. And then you guys can all just get to sing too, so.
Sing in this
Yes.
storm.
Huh? No, not today. One day. I got a charge for that one.
You got it yet?
No, I don't. But it's fine.
All right, everybody sing. I can't find it, but let everybody sing. Don't be shy. You have to help me, guys. You have to help me. Help me.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you guys. Wonderful. All right, just going to take a few minutes here. Want to do a couple things before we close the service here. One is I'd like to give you a few anchors that I believe have been the defining thing for the reason why I chose to come here 10 years ago. There were a few anchors, a few things that really hooked me and thought, this is why I want to be here. And also I'd like to give you just 4 people in my life that have given me the best advice ever, and I'd like to just leave that with you this morning. I do have one major concern about leaving. It stresses me out. It keeps me up at night. In fact, last night I could not get settled, so I thought I've got to come over here and do this one more last time. But now I realize that I can't do it anymore. And like I say, it's keeping me up at night. And that is, who's going to straighten the chairs? The chairs need to be symmetrical, okay? They need to be lined up on the fault line, so if someone could take that job, I wouldn't have to worry about it anymore, okay? Sorry, that's my OCD, I think. Here's a verse. I love this verse. I've been stuck on this verse for a number of months here. And it's Hebrews chapter 6, verse 19. And I love it in various different versions and translations here. But this one here, I love the wording of this. It's so, so clear. Hebrews 6, verse 19. We have this hope as an anchor for the soul, firm and secure. Memorize that, would you? I think we could memorize it before we get out of here. We have this hope as an anchor for the soul, firm and secure. Let's read it together. We have this hope as an anchor for the soul, firm and secure. I know a few or thing or two about anchors. In fact, there's maybe some people that say I don't know a thing about anchors. It's been a few times Ron and I went out in the boat and we threw the anchor over thinking we're good to go, let's take a nap, let's do some reading, and we go down into the boat, and then we hear some lapping of the waves on the shore and realize our anchor is not working. It's also been a few times where I've gotten that phone call, usually I'm not in town, and someone says, do you own the orange sailboat because it just floated past my house? My anchor is not working. That happened a few times. It's very important to have an anchor that's suitable to the boat that you have. You must have an anchor that securely fastens that boat to where you want it to stay. If you don't have that anchor, you will be kept up at night thinking, is my boat floating into the bay? You must have an anchor that you can be secure in, knowing that all is well, I've got nothing to worry about, that anchor is sure. This verse here reassures us believers of that very thing, that we have this anchor that is firm and secure. It's an anchor for our soul. There is no worries when we have our anchor in Jesus Christ. I've used this illustration before, and I received this, or I heard this about 14 years ago, and it just speaks to me. It's this. You and I, we human beings, anchor ourselves to something that gives us security, happiness, and contentment. And it's like the earth. The earth revolves around the sun. Gravitational forces are such that we are anchored to the sun, and we revolve around the sun. That is our anchor. If we were not anchored to the sun, we would be shooting off somewhere and either freeze to death or overheat, and we would surely die. But the fact is, we are anchored to the sun, and that is our security. We know that is going to happen. People in this world, we tend to anchor ourselves to things that aren't necessarily secure. In fact, I would argue that everything on this planet is insecure compared to the security of Jesus Christ. Let me give you an example. Some people anchor themselves to a relationship. This person I love. This person is my world. I would not know what to do if I did not have this person. And we revolve around that person. Everything in our life and all of our security is centered around that there. When that person is missing for a few days, we're not quite sure what to do with ourselves, but when they're back, we are anchored to that person. But let's say tragedy strikes. We lose that person. Our relationship falls apart. And all of a sudden, that person's not in our life. All of a sudden, we have no orbit anymore, and we find ourselves lost. We're gone. We are not anchored anymore. In this world, we're also anchored to other things. Financial security, we're anchored to our job, we're anchored to our hobbies, and those are the things that we're anchored to, and we revolve around that. But when something happens to that, all of a sudden we have no anchor, and we're floating. The basic message of the gospel is this. Jesus Christ is our anchor. He is firm and secure. And we can revolve around him knowing that he never changes. He is our security. He is our rock. He is our anchor. Let's read it together. We have this anchor as an anchor for the soul, firm and secure. I can't read, I'm sorry. Here's the anchors, okay? man, I think we have, did I give them to you? Number one, Jesus is Lord of the church. That is our anchor here at SBCC. If you come to membership class, that's the first thing that we have on the list. Don't forget it. It's number one, and that is Jesus Christ is Lord of this church. If we need a decision to make, go to the Lord. If there's something we don't know about, what would Jesus do? If we don't know, then we go to Scripture. What would Jesus do here? What would he have us say here? Is this something Jesus would do? Is this the way that he would do church? Is this the way he would respond to something? Number one, our anchor here is this. Jesus is Lord of the church. ... We need to have that anchor stubbornly. Absolutely stubbornly. Almost annoyingly. In other words, if there is a decision to make, if there's something to decide upon, someone should be standing up and say, is this something Jesus would do? No? Let's not do it. If yes, we better do it. Number two, second anchor. Seek and reach the lost. Primarily. The church is one of the only organizations that is its sole purpose is not for its members, it's for the members yet to come. That is our responsibility. Yes, we're to look after our own. Yes, we are to grow in God's grace. But primarily, our reach here and our anchor needs to be that we are to seek and save the lost. Primarily. Number three, grow in God's grace together. We are to seek and save the lost, but primarily we are to grow in God's grace together. That's our purpose. We are to do this. We are to seek ways in which we are to grow. We're to seek ways in which we are to become the person that Jesus created us to be. I truly, truly believe that this is one of the anchors that we have so desperately tried to be stubborn on is that we need to grow. We need the Holy Spirit to dwell upon us. We need to grow in grace. We need to grow in the fruit of the Spirit. Our sole purpose is to grow. Those two things there, number two, seek and reach the lost, and three, grow in grace, are need to be combined. Why? Because if we're seeking the lost, if we're reaching the lost, we will push away